All right, while I'm looking for some new bluegill spots, I'm going to put worms with my trout magnet kit, which is basically their little jig head and a really cool bobber. And I tell you what, it's been a long time since I've been impressed with a bobber. I don't know why I'm impressed with this, but I like the simplicity of this bobber and this rig. Now, I will say this trout magnet kit is not cheap. Not cheap at all. And neither are worms these days. I think I paid about $5 for this. And I'm going to do a little park hopping here to see if I can find some bluegill. Now, when I put the worm on here, I'm trying to put it on here similar to the way you'd put plastics on here. And it's just about half a worm. I'm hoping something is around the rocks and the trees and stuff. This would be a perfect spot for sunfish because you got insects coming off the trees and the rocks. The areas I am fishing have been fished a lot, so I might have to move around a little bit. Oh. First bite, took the worm right off the hook. Took me under a rock. I do have to be careful around rocks like this because there could be snakes. I got it out of there and I still got my worm. And I did kind of thread this a little bit different. You can pretty much put it any way you want on the hook. Just make sure the hook tip is exposed. It's just an urban myth that exposed hooks scare fish away. There's a water snake. They are mowing this park, so I might end up moving if I don't catch a fish anytime soon. I did say this park is probably fished out, and the snakes do eat some of the fish too. All right, more trees and more rocks. I've actually fished with Catfish Dave before at this spot for catfish. And that's where I kind of learned what I already knew, that zebra mussels will cut braided line like nothing. I had a run, and when I grabbed my rod, there was nothing there. And when I reeled it in, it had hit the ledge that's right here, which has a ton of zebra mussels on it, and cut my line. Catfish Dave at the time was probably using 60 to 80 pound main line just to prevent the line from getting cut. Now this is going to be a little bit interesting for me to fish. I'm just going to have to try. Right away. Well, that was really fast. I didn't even stop recording with the camera. Nice little one. It's what I kind of expect around here. I think there's a tree in the water where I caught them. So they're hanging out around that tree. Little bitty bluegill. See if I can catch a couple more. I'm not going to keep these guys. Maybe sometime in the future, but not right now. Yeah, missed them. Doing a good job at not losing my gear yet. There we go. Tons of small ones. So if I'm okay with catching small bluegill to use as bait, I can come back here. Oops. Very cool. Whoa. All right. I'm going to try to catch one more, and then I'm going to move on that tiny piece of bait. There's a better one. A little bit bigger. Now for 4-pound line, I haven't really had too much problems out of this fishing line, outside of it wrapping around the tip every now and then. I had 2-pound line on my other rod and reel, and that was a nightmare. It was more of a, whoa, traditional bluegill. Jumping out of my hand, like usual. I'm going to let this guy go, and then I'm going to try moving to another spot. This is kind of just an exploratory trip. More rocks, more trees. Now, I'm going to have to cut this little adventure short. I had a buddy call me while I was working my way to this park. He needs some help, so I'm going to help him with his little backyard project after I catch at least one more fish for you guys. This is really close to some really deep water, and it's also a good catfishing spot. Hopefully there's a bigger bluegill here. And the camera is pointed down because this is a downward slope. A lot of boats out for a weekday. Took my bait. There we go. Right by the rock. This one's got some nice colors to them. Got rocks here. I don't want to drop them on the rocks. Well, at least he didn't hit the rocks. There's some mud here. It's got some really cool blue coloration to them. Like I said, this is deep water, which means a lot of predators out away from the rocks. See if I can catch one more. Took my bait again. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. Like I said, I got a buddy that needs help, so I will go help him. I will say that at both of these spots, I am seeing shad like everywhere. In fact, there's a cast net in the water down there. Someone got their cast net hung on all these rocks. I would never really bring a cast net here either, especially that other spot. I think I saw more shad, and obviously there's more bluegill over at that other spot, but it's a rocky mess. It's just asking to lose a cast net or even, you know, bluegill gear eventually. If I had stayed there longer, I'm sure I would be, you know, putting a new jig head on this line. Now, if only I could find some bigger bluegill. Now, as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to actually watch this video. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully soon I'll be doing more catfishing videos out of my boat. However, some of you actually have said you like videos like this. And if you do, please hit that thumbs up to tell YouTube that it's worth watching this video as well. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. I really don't ask that too often. I'd rather fish. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you next time.